Hi guys, welcome to our channel. Ang topic natin ngayon is for AC circuits, which is all about superposition theorem. Okay, so far meron na tayong first three circuit analysis techniques na nadidiscuss, right? We have the nodal analysis, mesh analysis, source transformation. So kung hindi pa napapanood yung mga video tutorials natin doon, link ko na lang sa description yung playlist, or yung pinakahuling episode is yung episode 20, which is the part 2 of source transformation, para ma-check nyo. So ngayon, punta tayo sa another circuit analysis technique, which is the superposition theorem. So itong superposition theorem, na gamit na natin to sa DC circuits, right? So pwede rin natin itong gamitin sa AC circuits. So recall lang muna natin, ano ba yung superposition? Okay? So superposition principle states that the voltage across or current through an element in a linear circuit is the algebraic sum of the voltages across or current through that element due to each independent source acting alone. Okay, ito yung superposition. Superposition principle states that the voltage or pwede ring current, voltage across or current through an element in a linear circuit, so take note of the word linear circuit, is the algebraic sum of the voltages across or current through that element due to each independent source acting alone. So, pwede nating i-consider, okay, given a circuit, pwede nating i-consider yung contribution nung whatever is included na source sa circuit. Let's say we have a current or voltage source. Yung contribution yung dalawang yon sa paghanap sa voltage or current through an element. Okay? So, pwede natin gawin is i-sum up yung contribution ng bawat independent sources doon sa hinahanap nating voltage or current through that element. Okay? Since yung circuit naman natin is linear, applicable tong superposition sa linear circuit. Since we just involve yung mga passive linear elements like resistor, capacitor, inductor, tsaka yung mga independent sources. Okay? Take note of the word algebraic din kasi kailangan sinusunod niyo yung sign, may corresponding sign. Minsan kasi hindi nagko-conform sa direction or polarity ng voltage yung hinahanap natin. So pwede siyang maging positive or negative. Okay? So itong superposition, useful siya ngayon especially sa AC circuits. Bakit? Kasi kapag meron tayong mga sources na yung angular frequency ay magkakaiba, right? Remember, na-apply lang natin yung mga phasor or yung paggamit ng complex numbers in circuit analysis sa AC kapag yung angular frequency omega is pareho dun sa mga sources. Okay? Pero kung iba-iba, let's say meron kang angular frequency 1, angular frequency 2, hindi nyo pwedeng i-circuit analysis yung ng isahan. Okay? So, ito yung advantage ngayon ng superposition. Pwede nyong i-off yung one source at a time. Let's say, gusto mo na natin i-consider yung source na merong angular frequency na omega omega sub 1. Okay, i-off muna natin tong isang source na may angular frequency na omega sub 2 and then kukuhain natin yung voltage or current through an element depende sa pinapahanap. Okay, due to the unang source, independent source na merong omega sub 1 angular frequency. And then pagkatapos, off naman natin si omega sub 1 ay yung independent source na merong omega sub 1 na angular frequency at i-on naman natin yung merong independent source na angular frequency na omega 2 and then find the current and voltage then across the given element. So ganun mag-work yung superposition. Okay, pero ano ba yung mga steps natin? Sige, sulat ko pa rin yung mga steps para malinaw. Okay, so number 1, turn off all the independent sources except one source. Find the output voltage or current due to that active source using whatever circuit analysis technique you prefer. And then repeat step 1 for each other independent sources. And then 3, find the total contribution by adding algebraically all the contributions due to the independent source. Okay, basahin natin yung steps. So una, turn off all the independent sources except one source. Then find the output, voltage, or current due to that active source using whatever circuit analysis technique you prefer. So tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, magbubukas lang tayo or mag-turn on lang tayo, mag-iiwan lang tayo ng isang source, voltage or current source at a time, and then hahanapin natin yung output voltage or current due to that active source, depende sa pinapahanap sa circuit And pwede natin gamitin yung kahit anong circuit analysis technique na meron tayo. Kahit yung mga simple voltage divider lang, current divider, Ohm's law, even mesh analysis, nodal analysis, source transformation, pwede na rin natin gamitin. Right? Kung ano yung sa tingin yung pinakamadali for you. Okay? So, paano mag-turn off? Kapag voltage source, basta kailangan maging 0 yung value ng sources. So, kapag voltage source, kailangan 0 volt siya. Paano mag-0 ang mga voltage source? Diba dapat sino-short? Okay, isa-short nyo yung voltage source. Paano naman mag-0 yung current source? 0 amp. Diba dapat ino-open? Okay. So kapag voltage source, short. Okay, isa-short nyo. Kapag current source, i-open. Okay. And then repeat step 1 for each other independent sources. So pagkatapos nyo dun sa isang source natin, okay, off nyo naman siya, and then magbukas kayo ng isang another source. Kailangan yun lang uli yung may iwan sa circuit. Then ulitin nyo yung process sa step 1, find the output or voltage across or current through that active due to that active source within the element considered using another circuit analysis technique you prefer. Okay? And then hanggang matapos yung lahat ng mga sources or consider nyo yung contribution ng bawat sources na on at a time. Okay? Ngayon sa 3, kapag nahanap nyo na yung lahat ng contributions, i-add nyo na. Either kung voltage or current yung pinapahanap na parameter doon sa element. Okay? But take note yung mga sign, mahalaga yung sign algebraically kasi pwedeng negative or positive yung voltage na makukuha nyo depende sa indicated polarity ng voltage or sa direction ng arrow for the current. Okay, sige, para ma-illustrate na natin kung paano gamitin ang superposition theorem sa AC circuits, mag-solve na tayo ng examples. Okay, let's have problem number 1. Sulat ko muna, find I/O in the circuit below. 10 cosine 40 Okay, sige. Find I/O in the circuit below. So, syempre, using superposition yan. Although, pwede nyo rin naman gamitan ng ibang circuit analysis technique we have discussed so far. Okay? So, paano natin nahanapin itong current I/O? Take note yung direction niya, pababa. Okay? Kasi mahalaga yung polarity ngayon dito. Walang polarity, no? Ito, plus, minus. Yan. So, meron tayong ilang sources. Etong voltage source, let's say V1, with 10 cosine 40 volts. So, AC source to. Okay, kasi cosine siya, right? Tapos, ito naman, let's say V2, we have 8 volts. So, ano kayang type of source ito? Notice, constant lang siya, tapos walang nilagay na phase angle. 'Di ba usually, kapag AC circuits, ang nilalagay natin is yung phase, okay, yung magnitude, let's say, magnitude R, angle, or let's say magnitude VM or IM with angle theta. So pag wala siyang binigay na angle, theta, constant lang, it is a DC source. Okay? Pero kasi kapag AC, may encounter nyo, kahit zero yung ating phase angle, dapat lalagyan ng 0 degree. Pero hindi nilagyan ng angle 0 degree, ibig sabihin, hindi siya AC source. Ano siya? DC source nga siya. So this is 8 volt DC source. So take note of that. Pag hinanap ngayon natin yung I/O, using superposition theorem, pwede nating i-consider yung contribution ng current ng dalawang sources one at a time. Okay, so pag hinanap natin yung I/O, we will have, let's say, yung contribution ng V1, let's denote I/O sub 1, plus the contribution of V2 let's say IO sub 2. Okay, so kapag sinimulan natin dito kay IO sub 1, sige, so ang gagamitin natin, or parang mas madali si DC. Sige, simulan natin sa mas madaling i-analyze. Or palitan natin, ito si V2, ito si V1. Pero kahit ano namang unahin nyo, it doesn't matter. Para lang mas madali yung unang circuit analysis. Kasi kapag DC, di ba mas madali mag-analyze ng DC source or ng circuits with DC sources lang. Sige, so using V sub 1 is equal to 8 volts alone and turning off V sub 2, anong gagawin natin kay V sub 2? Voltage source siya, iti-turn off natin. I-short. Okay, i-short natin. Sige, copy natin yung circuit. Pag sinort natin ito, aalisin ko na, papalitan nyo na lang ng wire na shorted. Okay. Hanapin ngayon natin yung IO due to the 8 volt DC source. Ano ba yung frequency ng DC circuits? Diba 0? Okay. Sa tandaan nyo, kapag meron tayong inductor, tapos yung circuit natin is with DC sources lang, masya-short lang yon yung inductor. Kasi ano bang impedance niyan? Diba, impedance natin ay J omega L. Okay? Yung omega nga natin is 0. Bali magiging 0 ohm or magiging wire na lang siya pag sinubstitute. Sige, so ibig sabihin, papalitan ngayon natin to. Papalitan na natin yung inductor ng shorted wire na lang. Okay? Paano naman pala kapag capacitor? Kapag capacitor, tapos yung source natin ay DC, mau-open naman. Okay? Mau-open. Kasi ang formula ng XC is 1 over J omega C, right? Yung omega mo is 0. So, 1 over approaching 0, infinity. Sabihin, open yung, open yung capacitor or may infinite impedance. Yan. Sige, going back dito. Kapag sinort natin to, kapag sinort natin to, anong mangyayari kaya kay 4 ohm? Di mapaparallel siya dito sa shorted wire. Ang shorted wire, 0 ohm lang yon, right? Ibig sabihin, ang equivalent nito is applying yung formula ng parallel. Product ng impedances over sum, right? So, 4 times 0, 0 ohm kasi to, kasi shorted, over 4 plus 0, 0. So, ibig sabihin, mawawalan na ng value yung 4 ohm. Sinort na natin siya. So, kahit palitan na lang natin, alisin na natin yung 4 ohm. Yan. So, paano na natin mahanap yung IO1? IO1 siya, di ba? So, simple, na lang siya. Voltage source na merong series resistance. Di Ohm's law, right? So, using Ohm's law, IO sub 1 is what? V over Z. Pero resistance lang meron tayo. So, magiging voltage natin is 8 volts over 2 ohms. So, which is equivalent to 4 amps, right? So, take note, tama naman yung polarity, right? Hindi negative kasi nandito yung positive sign ng voltage source. So, dapat, dahil magdi-deliver siya ng power, dapat yung direction ng current is papasok sa negative niya, lalabas sa positive, right? Using passive sign convention. So, tama na positive dapat yung current, hindi negative. Okay? Sige, next. Doon naman tayo sa second source. Yung due to 10 cosine 40. Yan, so AC na siya kasi sinusoid na yung voltage natin, right? So using V2 equals, ano naman yung value niya? 10 cosine 40. 10 cosine 40 and turning off V1. Okay, sige, copy natin. Copy natin yung same circuit. So, ang i-off naman natin is si 8 volt. Turn naman ni 10 cosine 40. So, ganun ulit, voltage source kasi din siya, i-short natin. Yan. Pero, dahil AC circuit, yung source na natin is AC source, pwede na natin gamitin yung phasor. I-convert natin yung mga circuit elements value as phasors. Okay? So, convert to phasor just like dun sa mga ginagawa natin, right? Sa mesh, nodal, tsaka source transformation. Convert to phasors. So, itong V2, in terms of phasors, yan ay what? So, magnitude 10, angle, ano yung phase nito? Di ba pwede itong isulat as cosine 40 plus 0 degree. So, yung phase niya is 0 degree. Okay. Ang meron lang tayong i-convert into its impedance is yung inductor, which is ilang value niya? 1 Henry. For 1 Henry, okay, X, ang kanyang XL is J omega L. J omega, yung omega, yan yung again, yung coefficient nung T sa loob ng cosine, 4, right? So 4 rad per second. So J omega, which is 4, times the inductance L na 1. So that's just J4 ohms. So pag pinalitan ngayon natin ng value, papalitan ko na to ng J4 ohms. Tapos, ito ay gagawin na nating 10 angle 0 degree volts. So, paano ngayon hanapin yung I.O.? Gusto nyo, i-convert nyo ito into current source, applying source transformation. So, natutunan natin sa previous circuit analysis, right? Okay. So, paano i-convert? So, magiging current source siya na yung value using Ohm's law, Vs over Z. Ano yung Vs natin? Ito, yung 10 angle 0 degree divided by ito yung Z, Zs. Z sub S. Yung series resistance or impedance, which is the 4 ohm. So 10 divided by 4, that's 2.5, right? Angle 0 degree amps. Tapos yung Zs, pareho pa rin sa 4 ohms. Okay, ngayon i-convert natin to into current source. So dapat meron na tayong current source na merong naka-parallel na impedance, or in this case resistance lang kasi siya. So resistor lang yung ginamit ko. Ito si Zs na 4 ohms. Tapos anong value ng Is? 2.5 angle 0 amps. Tapos dito nyo i-connect yung remaining part ng circuit, which is ito. Etong dalawang to. Naka-parallel na lang sila, right? Parallel na 2 ohm tsaka J4 ohm inductor. So connect natin etong si J4 ohm na inductor parallel with resistor. J4 ohm and then 2 ohm. Tapos dito natin nahanapin, ito na si I.O. sub 2, right? Okay. Di pwede na natin gamitin dito yung current divider. Okay? Current divider rule na lang. Kasi yun din yung advantage ng superposition theorem. kapag kinonsider nyo lang is isang source sa circuit, possible ang mga gamitin nyo lang analysis technique is yung mga current divider, Ohm's law, voltage divider. Okay? Kasi nga isa lang yung source. Pero matrabaho nga lang kasi iniisa-isa natin yung contribution ng bawat source. Okay? So, paano hanapin si I.O.? I.O. sub 2 using current divider rule. So, hanapin natin yung impedance nung considered element. I mean admittance pala, right? Reciprocal ng impedance. 1 over J4. And then, all over the sum of the impedances. Etong tatlo. All over the sum of the admittance pala. So, bale, for the 4 ohm, 1/4. And then, for the J4, 1 over J4. For the 2 ohm, 1 over 2. Times the value of the current source na 2.5 angle 0 degree. So, take note, tama yung direction ng I.O. sub 2 nagko-conform dito sa direction ng current source pataas. Okay? Kasi siya yung total current source, mag-separate or magdi-divide itong total I natin into branches na pa-leave. So, dapat yung mga direction ng current natin is pababa dito sa node na to. Right? So, hindi siya negative. So, tama, positive lang. Yan. So, gamitan nyo na yan ng calculator. Yan. So, gamit kayo ng calcu. Okay. So, lagay nyo yung calcu nyo sa complex mode. In case hindi pa, punta lang kayo sa mode 2. Tapos, lagay natin yung mode ng angle sa degree. Shift, setup, 3. So, input natin yung 1 over 4i over 1/4 plus 1 over 4i plus 1/2 times 2.5 angle 0 at 2.5 to angle 0. Okay, anong makukuha nating sagot? 1/4 minus 3/4 i. Pero, kailangang i-time domain natin, di ba? Convert natin to into polar, shift to 3. Okay, which is approximately 0.791 angle negative 71.565 degree. Okay, ngayon, ko-convert natin into, this is kasi, actually dapat ginawa ko tong, ginawa nating mga phasor. Ito, phasor to eh. Phasor I.O. sub 2. Okay. So, pag kinonvert natin into time domain, I.O. sub 2, small I na siya. Bale yung kanyang amplitude, 0.791. And then, cosine, omega t. So, yung omega, kopyahin lang natin yung angular frequency kanina na 4. So, cosine 40 plus the phase, which is negative. So, minus 71.565 degree. So, kapag hinanap na yung pinaka-I.O., i-add na natin yung I.O.1 plus I.O.2. Ano ba yung I.O.1? 4? 4, di ba? 4 amps. So, ano lang siya? DC lang yung value niya. Constant lang na 4. Plus, etong I.O. sub 2 in time domain, 0.791 cosine 4t minus 71.565 degree. So, ang unit is amps. Ito yung pinaka I sub O. Applying superposition principle. Okay, sige. Problem number 2. Find VO for the circuit below, given that Vs is 6 cosine 2t plus 4 sine 40 volts. So, simple circuit lang siya. Series lang na RC. Yes, RC. Connected across a voltage source. So, plus minus, ito yung Vs, 0.25 farad. And then, dito hahanapin yung VO, voltage across the resistor 2 ohm. So, simple lang yung circuit, di ba? Pero, ang problem ngayon dito, yung Vs kasi natin ay, ang value is 6 cosine 2t plus 4 sine 4t. Magkaiba yung angular frequency. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina sa intro, right? Kapag magkaiba yung angular frequency, hindi nyo pwedeng i-analyze ng isahan. Okay? Okay, kailangan pareho yung angular frequency para ma-analyze natin ng isahang circuit analysis lang. So, kaya ngayon, applicable dito yung superposition. Okay, let's say, yung Vs natin, di ba considered siya as Vs sub 1 plus Vs sub 2. Let's say yung Vs sub 1 is yung 6 cosine 2t. Tapos yung Vs sub 2 is 4 sine 40. So, ibig sabihin, pwede nating i-consider one at a time. Let's say, unahin natin si Vs sub 1, isi-zero nyo or off nyo si Vs2. Next, si Vs2 naman yung i-on, tapos i-off si Vs1. Okay? Sige, so consider muna natin for Vs1. So, for Vs1, ang ilalagay nating source, copy ko yung circuit, is what? Yung ano yung Vs1? 6 cosine 2t. 6 cosine 2t. Volts, right? 6 cosine 2t volts. Okay? So, i-convert natin into phasor. So, yung Vs sub 1, which is 6 cosine 2t volts, in phasor form, that's amplitude 6, then angle 0. Okay? Again, pwede itong isulat as 6 cosine 2t plus 0 degree volts. Tapos, ang i-convert lang natin into impedance, itong capacitor, 0.25 or 1/4 farad. So, for 0.25 farad, okay, Xc natin is 1 over J omega C, right? 1 over J, yung unang omega natin is 2, right? So, omega is 2 rad per second. Again, yung coefficient ng T sa loob ng cosine. Then, times capacitance. So, yung 0.25, diba, that's 1/4. So, ilan to? 2 times 1/4, 1/2. I-reciprocal mo, magiging 2. Pero yung 1 over J, magiging negative J. So, kaya we have negative J2 ohms. Okay? So, palitan na ngayon natin yung value. Okay, papalitan natin to ng impedance niya na negative J2 ohm. Tapos retain lang tong resistance ni resistor. Etong Vs, papalitan na rin natin ng phasor na 6 angle 0 degree volts. Okay, so paano hanapin si VO? Dahil simple circuit lang siya, voltage divider pwede, right? Naka-series eh. So, by voltage divider or by VDR, voltage divider rule, so yung VO sub 1, again, yung resistance ng considered element 2 over the sum of the impedance or total resistance ng series circuit. Bale, 2 minus J2, right? 2 minus J2. And then times the voltage source 6 angle 0. Okay. Sige, mamaya sige, compute na natin. compute natin using the calculator. Pakita natin. Input natin yung 2 over 2 minus 2i times 6 angle 0. Okay. So, 3 plus 3i. Convert natin into phasor kasi ko-convert into time domain mamaya, right? Shift 2, 3. I mean, convert into polar pala kasi phasor naman talaga tayo. That's approximately 4.243 angle 45 degree volts. Okay. So, phasor yan, balik natin into time domain. So, VO sub 1 into time domain, again, yung amplitude, 4.243, and then cosine omega t. Yung omega natin, 2, right? 2. So, substitute nyo, cosine 2t plus the phase angle, positive 45 degree volts. So, ito yung VO sub 1. VO sub 1 to natin. So take note positive naman, positive tama yung value, nagko-conform sa passive sign convention. Okay? So hindi natin nilagyan ng negative. Okay? Doon naman sa VS2, sige. For VS2, which is ano yun, 4 ba? For sin 40 naman. Okay, copy natin yung same circuit. Pero papalitan ngayon natin tong VS2 ng 4 sin 40 volts. So, ibig sabihin, yung bagong angular frequency natin is 4. Okay? Kaya rin nababago, kaya rin ina-analyze natin separately kasi nga, dependent yung impedances natin sa angular frequency. So kung iba yung mga angular frequency natin sa sources, iba rin yung impedance, value ng impedances. So iba rin yung mga value ng current or voltage na hanapin natin na pwede nating mahanap sa given element sa circuit. Okay? So convert to phasor for VS sub 2, which is yung 4 sin 40, lagyan nyo ng 0 degree. So that's amplitude 4, then angle 0 degree. And then mababago rin dapat yung value ng impedance. So for the 0.25 farad, ang XC natin is 1 over J omega C ulit. 1 over J, so yung bagong angular frequency which is yung 4 rad per second, palit natin. So 1 over J omega which is 4 times the same capacitance na 1/4. Okay, so bale cancel to 1 over J na lang or negative J yan, right? So kapag pinalitan natin ng value, itong 0.25 farad gawin na nating negative J ohm. Tapos itong source gawin nating phasor which is 4 angle 0 degree din. Voltage divider lang din, right? Okay, so therefore VO sub 2, ito ay phasor din Again, 2 ohms divided by the sum nitong 2 tsaka negative J ohm. So 2 minus J, then times the voltage source for angle 0 degree using VDR, voltage divider rule. Sige, so gamit tayo ng calculator uli. Anong mako-compute nating value dyan? So 2 over 2 minus I times 4 angle 0. Okay. 16 or in polar na natin. Okay, i-polar natin. Shift 2, 3. Okay, approximately 3.578 angle 26.565 degree volts. Tapos, i-convert natin to time domain ulit. Therefore, VO sub 2 is approximately amplitude 3.578. Then, sine kasi yung ginamit natin, di ba? Kanina is cosine, ngayon is sine. So, sine yung gamitin nating function. Sine omega t, omega natin is 4, di ba? Okay. Sine 4t plus the phase na 26.565 degree volts. So kapag hinanap na yung pinaka-VO, sum na ng VO1 plus VO2. Ano yung VO1? Copy na lang natin yung VO1. Ito. Okay, plus VO2. Ito, copy. So, ito yung sagot. Okay, ang unit pala nito ay volts. Okay, sige. Problem number 3 tayo. Solve for phasor IO. Take note, phasor na hinahanap for the circuit. Ito yung circuit natin. Drawing ko muna. Ang value nito is 30 angle 45 degree volts. Yan. So, solve for IO for the circuit. So, naka-phasor na yung mga values ng elements. Okay? Tapos, ina-assume natin dito na pareho ng angular frequency. Okay? Yun nga lang, pwede pa rin natin gamitin yung superposition theorem kasi dalawa yung source natin. Okay? Sige. So, paano natin to i-analyze? Let's say, ito yung VS1 natin. VS1 is 20 angle 0 degree. Tapos yung VS2 is 30 angle 45 degree volts. So, kapag kinuha yung pinaka-IO, IO is the contribution ng VS1 plus the contribution ng VS2. So, IO sub 1 due to VS1 to plus IO sub 2 due to VS2. So, simulan natin kay VS1. So, i-off natin itong VS2, yung 30 angle 45 degree. Sige. So, for VS1 first, copy natin yung circuit, tapos i-off natin si VS2. Okay. So, again, voltage source siya. Pag in-off, delete, then palitan ng short circuit. Okay. Yan. So, paano ngayon nahanapin itong IO? Ano napansin natin sa circuit? So, isa na lang yung source natin, which is a voltage source. Okay? Kapag kinonvert natin to into current source, using source transformation, pwede na lang natin gamitan ng voltage divider, right? Okay? Magiging ito is parallel dito, tapos ito is parallel, right? Okay. So, convert natin into current source. So, convert to current source. Ito, right? Okay. So, ano yung magiging value ng current source? Let's say IS. Ohm's law, Vs over Zs. Okay. Sana si Vs, 20 angle 0 divided by Zs na J10. Okay. Ano yung 20 angle 0 divided by J10? Kasi diba itong 20 angle 0, ano lang yan? 2. Kasi 0 lang yung phase angle. Real part lang yan. Over J, diba pag over J, negative J yun. So, negative J2. Okay? Tapos, same lang din yung Zs. I-connect nyo nga lang sa current source as parallel element. So, magiging ganito siya. Okay? And then, nakaparallel na itong J10. Okay. J10 ohm. Tapos yung value na nito ay negative J2. Negative J2 amps. Tapos, connect natin dito sa terminal na to yung remaining part ng circuit, which is eto, di ba? Yan. So, 50 ohm. Sige, sulat na lang natin. Yung 50 ohm. Tapos, eto. $60 ohm. So, this is negative J40, this is 60. Negative J40 and 60. Tapos ito si IO. Okay, paano hanapin si IO? Pwede natin tong gamitan ng current divider. Take note, parallel to, pwede nyong gawing single impedance. Let's say, ito, pwede rin. So, gawin nating mga single impedance. Let's say, let's say ito is Z1, Z2. Okay, anong value nitong Z1 tsaka Z2? So, yung Z1, di ba parallel? Parallel 60 tsaka negative J40. So, negative J40 parallel to 60. That's equal to what? Paano ba yung formula sa parallel? Sum over product or reciprocal ng sum of reciprocal, right? So, this is negative J40, I mean product over sum pala, yung shortcut sa dalawang parallel, right? Product sa numerator, so negative J40 times 60 over the sum, negative J40 plus 60. Yung Z2 naman is parallel na J10 tsaka 50. So, J10 parallel to 50. Again, product over sum. So, J10 times 50 over sum, J10 plus 50. Okay, so pwede nyo yung i-input sa calcu, kuhain nyo yung value. Sige, kuhain natin yung value sa calcu. So, sa C1, we have negative 40i or j times 60 divided by 40i plus 60. To be exact, it's negative 240 over 13 minus 360 over 13 j ohms. Okay? Or pwede nating i-store na lang to sa A. Shift store A. Take note, nasa A siya para hindi na tayo mag-input or para mas accurate yung sagot natin. Next. We have, ito naman, input natin. So, 10i times 50 divided by 10i plus 50. Okay. In fraction, 25 over 13 plus 125 over 13i ohms. So, store natin ngayon sa B. Shift store B. Okay. So, pag niredraw natin, meron na lang tayong current source, negative J2 amps. Tapos, ito yung Z2, right? Z2. Okay. Yung Z2 natin, ito yung value. Hindi, ito pala. Copy. Z2 natin to. Tapos yung Z1, ito yung value. Sulat na lang natin. Negative pa. Negative 240 over 13 minus J360 over 13 ohms. Yan. Tapos, saan yung IO? Di ba dito? Okay, so this is C1. Parang mali pala yung value natin. Wait lang, check natin. Etong J1, parang mali ako nang na-input. It should be positive, right? Check ko medyo namalata ng input. Yung Z1, negative 40i times 60 over negative 40i plus 60 equals, okay, dapat positive. Okay, positive 240 over 13, then negative 360 over 13. Okay, take note. Kailangan careful tayo. So, shift store ko bago sa A. Okay. So, negative ito. Check na nga rin natin yung isa. Yung Z2. So sa say 2, J10, 10I times 50 divided by 10I plus 50. And 25 over 13 plus 125 over 13. So tama, positive. Positive pareho. Okay. So analyze na ngayon natin. Paano hanapin si IO using current divider? Current divider, right? Kasi parallel na lang sila eh. Right? Tapos ang source mo is a current source. So using current divider, IO1 to, right? IO1, yung due to, due to sa 20 angle 0 degree volts, right? Okay. So that's equal to, bale yung impedance or admittance dito sa branch na to, which is 1 over Z1, then over the sum ng admittance, so 1 over Z1, ito, plus 1 over Z2. 1 over Z2 times the current source, negative J2. Bale, itong Z1, di ba nakastore siya sa A, sa calcu natin? Or pwede nyo namang isulat din ito. Okay, sulat to, tapos ito, sulat. Sulat dito. For shortcut purposes lang. So, ang input nyo sa calcu ngayon is 1 over Z1 is alpha A over 1 over Z1 alpha A plus 1 over Z2. Ito namang Z2 natin, nasa B, right? Alpha B. Then times negative J2. Okay, so check natin. Take note, ano yung sign niya, positive or negative? Nagko-conform sa polarity ng current source, right? Since pataas, okay, madidivide yung total current dito sa dalawang branch na ang polarity, ang direction is leaving. So tama, leaving yung IO1 tapos yung current dito. So positive yung gagamiting sign. Okay? So wag yung lalagyan ng minus. Okay? So gamitin natin calcu. So input lang natin is 1 over alpha A over 1 all over 1 over alpha A plus 1 over alpha B times negative 2I. Okay? Exactly. Sige. Kasi phasor naman, no? Sige. Sulat natin. 120 over 195 plus 70 over 193I. Ito yung eksaktong value ni IO1. Okay, IO1. Next, doon naman tayo sa pangalawa. Again, yung pangalawa, voltage source din na ito yung value niya, di ba? 30 angle 45 degree volts. So, ang gagawin natin, sige, copy natin muna yung circuit. On natin siya yung may E1, pero i-off natin yung VS1, right? Okay. So, i-off na natin tong VS1, alisin natin si current, si voltage source, tapos i-short natin. Okay. So, paano hanapin ngayon si IO? So, ganun pa rin, ang gawin naman natin ngayon, di ba, kinonvert natin kanina to into current source, yung sa VS1. Convert din natin tong VS2, yung kanina, ito, yung portion na to, kinonvert natin into current source, right? So, ganun din dito. convert din natin tong voltage source in series impedance to current source. So, ano yung magiging value ng IS? Ohm's law ulit, VS over ZS. Yung VS natin is 30, angle 45 degree, and then divide natin by ZS na 60. Okay? So, dahil real part lang naman ito, wala siyang imaginary. Kahit i-divide nyo na lang tong 30 over 60, diba, that's equal to 0.5. Angle, copy itong angle 45 degree amps. Tapos yung ZS natin, ito pa rin yung 60 ohms. Okay? 60 ohms. So, pag kinonvert natin into current source na siya na merong nakaparallel na resistor. Ito yung 60 ohms, ZS. Tapos yung value na nito ay 0.5 angle 45 degree. Right? So, 0.5 angle 45 degree amps. Tapos, i-connect natin dito sa terminal yung remaining part ng circuit, which is ito. Okay. So, itong negative J40 capacitor. Negative J40 ohm. Then, itong dalawa, nakaparallel na J10 ohm tsaka 50 ohm resistor. 50 ohm, J10 ohm inductor. Yan. Tapos, ang kailangang hanapin, ito yung direction ngayon ni I.O. Okay? So, pwede uling gamitan ng current divider, right? Okay, ganun ulit. Pagsamahin natin to, tapos pagsamahin natin to. Okay, di ba ito yung Z1 natin? Ito na yung Z1. So, same combination pa rin. Parallel negative J40 tsaka 60. Okay, tapos ito yung Z2. Same combination pa rin na parallel J10 ohm tsaka 50 ohm. E di, kung anong na-compute natin kanina, yun na rin yung value, right? So, yung Z1, ito nakastore pa rin sa A. Tapos si Z2 nakastore pa rin sa B sa calcio ko. Okay? Yan. Pero pag niredraw natin, ganito na siya. Ito yung Z2. Tapos ito yung Z1. Parallel sila. Connected across itong current source na 0.5 angle 45 degree amps. Yun nga lang, ang direction ng current mo pag ganito, right? Going to the right. But yung direction ng current natin is pataas. So supposed to be, kung pataas, dapat ang direction ng current dito, pag ganyan, pag ganyan. Yan yung dapat, right? Pero, yung direction na hinahanap natin is I.O. na going to the left, to the right. Okay? So, opposite sa sign. Right? So, ibig sabihin, lalagyan niya yan ng negative sign. So, by current divider ulit, current divider rule, ano yung IO2 na to, no? IO2. So, lalagyan nyo ng negative kasi opposite sa dapat na polarity or dapat na direction ng current, right? Negative impedance, admittance. Okay, admittance nitong yung considered current, right? Etong Z2, right? So, dahil opposite sila, kaya may negative. Okay, so 1 over Z2 divided by the sum ng admittances. Ito, tsaka ito. So, 1 over Z1 plus 1 over Z2. And then, yung current source natin times 0.5 angle 45 degree amps. Excuse me. Tapos, instead na isulat natin yung mga values, dahil nakastore na nga siya sila sa calcio ko, di ba si Z2 ay nasa B. So, negative 1 over B na lang, over 1 over Z1 nasa A. Plus 1 over Z2 nasa B, then times 0.5 angle 45 degree. Okay, so gamitan natin ng calcu. Madali na lang yung input sa calcu kasi may mga stored value na tayo. So, negative of 1 over alpha B over 1 over alpha A plus 1 over alpha B and then times 0.5 angle 45 degree. Okay, ito yung value natin. Sorry, mali. Ba't ko ginawang minus to? Ulit. Okay, 1 over alpha B over 1 all over 1 over alpha A plus, kanina na input ko is minus, right? Plus 1 over alpha B times 0.5 angle 45 degree. May negative pa pala, sorry, hindi ko nalagay. So, times natin to sa negative times negative 1. Ito, yung negative na to, hindi ko na input, di ba? Okay. So, this is approximately negative 0.52 in 3 decimal place na lang. Negative 0.528 minus 0.308J. Or pwede nating i-polar na lang. Sige, shift 2, 3, polar. So, approximately 0.611 angle negative 149.744 degree amps. Okay. Ito yung IO2. Pero, yung pinaka-final IO is yung sum ng IO1 plus IO2. Ano ba yung IO1? Yung IO1, ito, copy. Plus, ito, 0.611 angle negative 149.744. So, kailangan nating i-add yan. Di ba? So, add natin 120 over 195 plus 70 over 193i plus 0.611 angle negative 149.744. Okay. So, ito yung sagot natin. Approximately 0.088 plus 0.055. Or in, in polar, shift to 3, 0.103 angle 32.041 degree amps. Ito yung IO. Okay. So, pang ilan na to? Problem number 3 pa lang, no? Problem number 3. Tama ba? Sige, so anong oras na ba? Okay, naka 1 hour na rin kasi tayo. So sige, end ko muna yung video tutorial natin ngayon. So continue natin. Let's have part 2. Solve pa tayo ng more problems for this topic, superposition theorem. So abangan nyo yun. So sige, ganito muna. I hope you learned something from this video. See you on my next one. Bye-bye.